Hi guys, it's Chris. So something interesting happened to me recently that I want to talk about. And it's basically how I explained polytheism to a young Christian. On June 23rd, I held a literary signing at the Freeport Public Library in Freeport, Illinois, to promote some of my latest publications in magazines and journals, like Dark Dossier. I also had my copy of Mad Scientist Journal there, but I had not had time to order any copies because it just came out the day before. So basically, what I did was sign copies of Dark Dossier and also some of my memoirs, In the Presence of the Gods, which outlines my experiences with the Greek gods throughout my life. It was originally intended to be an event to just promote my latest fiction, but I figured that the more stuff I could sell, the better, so I brought some of my nonfiction stuff as well. And it actually sold just as good as the opposite. But an encounter happened to me that I'll always remember, and I think it's worth noting. A very friendly young man hung around me for most of the day. He was very interested in my writings and what I was doing. When he picked up my memoirs and learned that I was a polytheist, it became clear to me that he was a Christian because he asked me, "Do you believe in Jesus Christ?" And I told him that I do believe Jesus was a real historical man, but that I don't believe that he was a god or divine. The boy basically went on to ask me, "Why do you believe in many gods instead of just one?" Now, being that he was a young man and more curious than anything else, I came up with what I thought was a good way to explain my theology to him on a level that he could comprehend. I never at any point tried to tell or convince him that his beliefs were wrong. Instead, I just taught him about my own. Because I think that there's a lot of people in mainstream society need to be taught about the ancient beliefs, mainly because they have a grave misunderstanding about them. So I asked him, being a student of Socrates, I asked him, "Have you ever been outside?" And he said, "Yes." And I said, "Okay, do you see one tree or many?" He replied, "Many." And then I asked, "Are they all the same or different?" And he answered, "Different." And so I continued along this line of questioning. I said, "What about grass? Is there one blade or many? What about clouds? One or many? And what of other worlds? Does our solar system have one or many?" He replied, "Many," to all my questions. And so I said, "Well, in conclusion, the nature of the universe dictates that everything exists in multiples, not singulars. So why should God be any different?" And yes, I know that some people will say, "Well, can there not be one painter that paints many things?" And yes, that's true. But is there just one painter in the world or many? Is there just one painter in all of the world who does all the paintings, or are there many painters? The answer is many. There are countless painters, countless artists out there. So once again, the nature of the universe dictates that everything exists in multiples. So why should God be any different? And the young man didn't have an answer for me. He just shrugged it off. But I would like to think that I encouraged him to think outside the box in his life, to come to his own beliefs and conclusions about things, instead of just blindly accepting what others tell him is truth. It's quite possible I'll never see him again in my life, but maybe, just maybe, that day I created a new student of Socrates.